It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Set for football now at AT&T Stadium. Brandon Aubrey has the honors, and we are underway here in Arlington. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. Leading him out is their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Ole Miss.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
I'm sure after he called the ball and looked up, he thought to himself, uh-oh, trying to find some space, trying to make people miss. But a swarm of defenders were there, and they dropped him behind the line of scrimmage.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. He'll drop to throw. That's complete. It's Neighbors. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So from the 37, here's 2nd down and 1. Hang on a second here, because on that last play, it appears one of the Giants shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Tracy going to get it on 1st down. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2nd and 5. Now back to throw. Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Back to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Malik Neighbors from 4 yards out. And the Giants get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Those are the drives that prove a lot. You got a rookie quarterback, Charles. You're on the road, takes him down, throws the touchdown pass.
And in a game like this, with, as you described, a rookie quarterback, the team usually says, okay, we got to take care of this guy. We got to protect him. But when he goes out and plays like this on the first drive on the road, he doesn't have to say, I'm here to be your leader. They just need to follow him.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
It's been a lot of fun watching him advance in his career. Many people question his ability to throw the football coming out of Mississippi State. He's conclusively answered that question. In addition, a very strong runner and an even better leader.
Here's Prescott. Drops it to Blue, complete. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and a couple. The first carry now. This is Williams. And he'll get about 2 there to the 36. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They'll try to run for it with Blue. And a great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
First down, and they go right back to Blue. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Pass complete. George Pickens with it. That'll go for a gain of 7. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Finding Pickens for another catch. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Another completion right there. And again, Charles, good time in the pocket. That offensive line on this opening drive been really solid.
They've been more than solid. They've really tamped down the pass rush and kept him safe in the pocket, able to look around, find his target, and deliver. He's got to make sure he tells the offensive line in the huddle, thanks, fellas. Let's keep it going.
Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Prescott. That's going to be caught by Pickens. Short completion, just 4 yards, and now it's 3rd and 3. Well, safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already. I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on 3rd down.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And now a decision here on the opening drive. 4th and very short, this part of the field. What do you think they do, CD?
I think you go for it. I think there's a lot of game left to be played. I like the advantage that they're trying to create here early. I say be aggressive and try and get it done.
Here we go with Williams. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the 1st down.
Here's Prescott. He finds Pickens over the middle. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, they're not hiding who their central focus is on offense. Charles, he already now has 4 receptions here on this opening drive.
And I know people who are watching the game are thinking, did they forget about him in the defensive game plan? But it's actually been the opposite. They're giving him a lot of attention, but he's been very creative and savvy in his route running and finding seams and openings in order to create these completions.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ferguson. And they'll get this down to the 10. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a 1st down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Now a shotgun handoff. Blue. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now Prescott. This will be caught just inside the 10. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
So on 4th down, Prescott off, and on is Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. So a conservative decision there, but it does put him on the board.
And I know the players hate it and the coaches hate it, but sometimes you just got to take the points when they're there. Sometimes a field goal is pretty darn good.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Out is their quarterback with this offense to take over once more. He was 4-4 on that opening drive, including the touchdown pass, as he'll try again here to duplicate that success, starting with a first down. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll drop the throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Partner, we've got ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known that points won't come so easy again.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Cavante Turpin deep for the Cowboys. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. 2nd down and a yard. Prescott now from the 50. Out of his hands quickly to CeeDee Lamb. And Lamb going to have a Cowboys first down as he'll get this down to the 41. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Prescott. Another one to CeeDee Lamb. He's got it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a first down. Play action now. Prescott. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kayvon Thibodeau, he beat the O-line and recorded the sack. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be, trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind, because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
Prescott to throw it. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there. 32 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. 5 plays there on that drive. And it culminates in a Dallas So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Well, now how about this return? And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. And the Giants ready to come out now. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the Jets sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
They'll hand it to Tracy. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Giants first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On the give, it's Tracy. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
From just shy of midfield, here's a 2nd and 9. He'll look to throw. Catch made by Slayton. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
And I think he just wanted to give the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They're going to look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
Well, this might very well have been 4-down territory, but that's not going to matter now. They get a nice throw there on 3rd down, and they're able to keep the drive going.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. That one taken in by Neighbors. And the ball is knocked out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Robinson's got it. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Two minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Facing a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 10. They'll look to throw again. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And the Giants are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Back to throw again. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Daniel Bellinger, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants are once again back in front. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Gano the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. A 10-play drive that time. And it was finished off with a touchdown by Daniel Bellinger. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them.
He's got a man complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 33 yards that time.
And this is how you answer a touchdown the other end. You come out throwing to start your own drive. And not just throwing, but pushing it down the field. And they come up with a big play as they try to answer back with a score of their own.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Prescott finds Pickens outright. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Prescott from the gun. Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll throw again. Prescott on the move to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just... And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And it's now 17-14. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. Finding Jaxson on the out route, that's complete. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this third quarter. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Cowboys offense and Dak Prescott getting ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half, it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Prescott now. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping him for the sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them, because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. To throw is Prescott. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him, because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Looking to throw, Prescott. That is caught, and he is out of bounds inside the 35. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
His throw incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing, Prescott. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here's Prescott. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And this one is right through. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side. I
would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same, because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone. Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll set up a throw. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. The Cowboys offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. They begin the drive with Williams. Javon Holland coming up to make the stop.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Now Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I had to do a double take on that one, Brandon, because so far in this game, we haven't seen many of his passes fall incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Prescott. Flushed out right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go with Blue between the tackles. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now a toss, left side, it's Blue. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
3rd and 3. They'll try and run again with Blue. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
So on 4th down, Prescott off, and on is Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will make this a 9-point lead. A second field goal here this 3rd quarter, and his 3rd of the game so far.
He's been an important part of the offense, that's for sure, and they may need him again before this one's said and done. So I would treat him like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. Leave him alone and let him focus.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now out come the Giants. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
This one is Slayton over the middle. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. On the ground, here comes Tracy. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a...
And got his man, complete. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points. On the run is Tracy. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Right back to Tracy. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Giants first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Well, part of their struggles in the first half was their inability to convert consistently on 3rd down. But how about this well-designed play? Gave himself plenty of options and able to get the hook up and keep the drive going.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Here's Tracy. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll keep it on the ground. Tracy. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Giants have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Extra point try good by Gano. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they've seen their lead nearly extinguished after that last score, but bottom line, they are still on top with the football, and a touchdown on this drive would really put them in position A. Prescott to throw it. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Here's Prescott. He hits Blue. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Out of his hands quickly to CeeDee Lamb. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
Now a give up the middle to Williams. Shoves him away. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas 1st down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. It's second down.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Eluding the pressure right. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one, because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will add to their 4th quarter lead. So a heck of a drive right there with the game potentially hanging in the balance.
A very good drive, and now conversion to make it a 2-score game and a solid lead.
Aubrey now for the point after. And that makes it a 9-point game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And New York set to take the field. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jaxson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. That's complete to Slayton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 12. 2nd play in a row with a 12-yard gain. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. That's caught left side by Neighbors. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it's 2nd down. There it is, the defense waking up after 3 plays that hurt them. Finally, they stand up.
They have a little pride, too, 3 straight 1st down type plays. Yeah, they wanted to make one stick on their side, didn't they?
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Here's Jaxson with a reception. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. 35 yards. And the Giants have cut it back within a score. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Gano the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40. The time to get another look at this Cowboys offense. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Cowboys use the big play to extend their fourth-quarter lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now an important extra point here to maybe salt this one away. And that makes it a 9-point game. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. They'll come out throwing here on first down. A throw right side caught by Neighbors. Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. They're giving those short little routes, tackled him in bounds too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top. Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you've got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
The Giants on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. He's got his target. That's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Able to locate his man Slayton on an out route. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Back to throw again.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Here's 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
No receivers open downfield, so instead of forcing the ball to the sideline, he's going to throw this one down to Fort Worth. He'd rather have the incompletion than the turnover.
Well, this crowd is making an impact right now. 3rd and 10. In motion, Slayton. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. Second down, 8 yards to go. He'll drop to throw. Johnson's got it complete. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. But Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
Now first and goal. They'll look to throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And the lead is down to 2. That time a 9-play drive. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They go again with blue. They find some open field here. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Here's a give, left side, blue with it. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Handoff, blue running right. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
3rd and 8. Prescott. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it.
Now that's a killer because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a first down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
You're exactly right. Looked like a for-sure stop on third, and then the tables turned. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. So no shortage of offense in this game, but a very clean game too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level from both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business, though. They were high-flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they did. And just keeping it clean in a game like this with all these points, you don't see that very often, even at the highest level. Job well done by both sides. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.